Marylen Yiris, welcome to Inside South Florida.
Thank you, Cameron. It's very nice to be here.
Yes, excited to have you on the show for the first time, and I'm sure many more to come after that.
Absolutely.
Well, we are walking into a new season right now. It is the fall season coming up upon us, and maybe that means it's a new time to buy a car. But buying a car can be a little intimidating sometimes. Maybe some difficulties with it are a little scary for some of the community. So let's break into that first. Why is it so scary sometimes?
Oh, it is scary, right? You know what? We are breaking into a new season. We just started the back to school season, and so we know what that means about traffic in South Florida, right? We've all been there, done that. The reality is, though, to move around in South Florida, we still need a car to commute, to get our kids to school, to run our errands and so forth. And yeah, usually we would think that as much as we like our cars, we like the fancy cars down here, right? That we would like the car buying process, but the reality is most of us dread it because it's intimidating. You know, you're walking into a pretty big purchase, big dollar item, and you don't necessarily know what you're doing, right? Most of us don't cut our own hair, right? We have a professional do it. Why would it be different for buying a car, but we find ourselves having to do that process for ourselves? And it is definitely scary sometimes.
And you mentioned having a professional help you out. And you, of course, are with Tropical Financial Credit Union, and you guys are the professionals. And so in what ways are you guys able to step in and be that solution in the car buying process?
Well, that's why I'm here, right? I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can help you maximize your dollar and make that car buying experience not so scary and maybe even a little bit fun, right? So one of the tips I wanted to share is that you have to get pre-approved. It is something that I don't think most people know to do. We kind of just decide, oh, I need to buy a car. I'm going to go to the dealership and see what I find, right? Or we see the specials on TV and we think, oh, I'm going to take advantage of that offer, and we walk on into the dealership. But if you get pre-approved, you do two things. The first thing you do is understand what you can afford, right? What's within my budget? We all want the Porsche, right? I get that. And I'm not saying we're not going to have them. We're going to have our Porsche. But in the meantime, let's figure out what our realistic budget's going to be and know that walking in. That just helps you with level setting, right? So the second thing that does is it helps you with your bargaining power, right? Because now you've got your financing taken care of. You don't have to think about that. And you can focus on making sure that you're getting all those dealer incentives that may be on the table, as well as just focusing on the price of the car. You got to negotiate the price of the car, and then you can just focus on that. So that's my number one tip for people, is to make sure that you walk in with your financing handled, taken care of, that you're pre-approved, and then go from there.
I love it. Marylen, we are taking advantage of all your knowledge today. So I know that's your number one tip. Any other tips or misconceptions you can share with us today?
For sure, for sure. So Tropical Financial has this service called Auto Advisors, right? This team is amazing. And what they're basically doing, it's a no-cost service. And this team is going to help you figure out with your budget what car you can get, right? So maybe you know exactly what you want. That's cool, right? So they're going to help you with their network of dealers find that specific car. If you want to test drive it, they can schedule that for you. If that's not your thing, they can have it delivered for you, right? But if you don't know what you can afford with the budget you have, then you can start to talk about, you know what, I really need that third row. Or I have to have air-conditioned seats. It's South Florida, right? And so they'll be able to take those features that you're looking for, match it to the different cars that have those options, and then present you with the options that fit within your budget, and then you guys can go from there, right? One of the things I love is that this doesn't just apply to new cars, right? It also applies to pre-owned vehicles. So who's to say if you have your heart set on a BMW, it doesn't have to be the brand new one, right? Maybe a 2-year-old BMW, just as beautiful, right? Just as bougie, but if it's within your budget, and the auto advisors can help hunt that down and find it for you. So I was just here to share, Tropical Financial not only has the financing part of it, and by the way, we have really good rates, right? We also have that auto buying service that takes the pain out of that car buying process.
I love it. You said bougie and in your budget. That is key.
See?
Right there.
See?
you have me already attentive to this. Marylen, thanks so much for hopping on the show today. For all this information and more, because you guys have even more for us, where can we go?
We sure do. To see Tropical Financial's offers and all the things that we offer the community, go to tropicalfcu.com.